There was under a minute to play.
There's 30 seconds to go. What were you going to do?
What are you doing?
What were you going to do from there?
What were you going to do?
You weren't going to do anything.
Good Monday morning, everybody. John and Lance along with Dell for the next 3 hours here on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. Talking another Texans win, 6-2 on this NFL season. Second best record in the AFC. As we speak right now, they are the number 2 seed in the playoffs. Still more than halfway to go, and yet another non-cover. I was looking at a way too early playoff scenario, and it said, and I think it's pretty accurate. This team just doesn't pass the eye test right now.
No,
it doesn't. It doesn't pass the eye test.
No, there have been people who get upset when we say that on a Monday after a win, but I mean it's just realistic. You're one reverse call away from potentially losing that game.
Yeah,
and you goofed around, you let them hang around. Anthony Richardson had just an atrocious game. And here they are sitting there. And I was thinking about this. You know, everything's coming back to Nico Collins. And it's true. The things haven't been but we were singing the praises from the top of every mountain, which we have none here. So I guess the top of every billboard in Houston about the greatness of Tank Dell all off season. We couldn't. Well, Tank Dell, wait till Tank Dell gets here. Watch what happens to you when Tank Dell's here.
Tank was fine. I mean, I'm not putting it.
What I'm saying,
Tank was fine yesterday. He caught a touchdown pass.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm saying. You have Stephon Diggs and Tank Dell. That should be enough from a passing game standpoint. You shouldn't have to have Nico Collins too. What are we talking about?
That's not it. It's the offensive
line.
He was pressured 57% of the time.
We're gonna get to that. But CJ.
Well, no. But that's more than Tank or Stephon Diggs. Yeah, that's enough. But when you're pressured 57%, you know what the high pressure is for any quarterback this year?
90.
60. And it was the Texans against Anthony Richardson yesterday.
Yeah.
60.
60%. How was it worse yesterday than Green Bay?
I have no idea. It was worse yesterday. No. It was only 43% against Green Bay. It was 57% yesterday.
Yeah, it's not great. Now pressure means hurried too, which doesn't always.
No, but that affects
hurries are just okay. I think it's having an effect on CJ. He's not the same guy right now. CJ's missing some easy throws. His placement is off.
I thought he was okay yesterday. He was pretty good
clearly
yesterday.
He's not the same as last year. You know, he's missing throws at Dalton Schultz. He's throwing behind guys. Things that were automatic CJs that I thought separated him from everyone else as one of the elite quarterbacks in the league. This special placement. It's not really there this year, and it hasn't been for much of this year. Some of it, I don't know what it was, maybe nitpicking. Right now, I said something on Twitter, and everyone, Dustin and all these people, oh, you're about to get killed by C.J. Stroud. No, everyone else is seeing it too. Now, the reasoning, good chance that it's just the pressure. And I think C.J.'s getting a little mini rattled in there. Not anything terrible where he's,
until a couple of
head.
games ago, he was number 1 in the league against pressure. Listen.
Well, he's not the same. I mean, do you think the eyeball test, he's the same guy right now?
Yeah, I thought CJ was just fine. I don't think it was. I think Tank Dell was just fine.
We know the offensive line's a problem. We're going to get to that.
I mean, that's kind of a big deal.
I know it's going to be the whole show. We're going to have the whole show. I'm just trying to get to. I mean, the whole show is going to be the offensive line, as it probably needs to be. Let's be realistic.
Okay,
but what I'm saying is, CJ's not at his very. I'll be the one to say it. I know it's not going to be popular, but C.J. Stroud is not at his best right now, too. Is the pressure playing into it? Yes, it absolutely is. But, the pitch to Joe Mixon, C.J.'s pitch almost cost them the whole game. Like, what was that?
No, that was terrible. I'm not crazy about a pitch to a guy that's that close to you anyway. I'm not crazy about the play call. Whatever the case may be. Listen, They didn't win that game. Indianapolis lost that game. Shane Steichen having him throw that ball at the end of the first half cost them that whole game. Shane Steichen lost that game for the Indianapolis Colts.
I mean, in
after
a way,
he threw that pass to the left that was almost intercepted, there was under a minute to play.
There's 30 seconds to go. What were you going to do?
What are you doing?
What were you going to do from there?
What were you going to do?
You weren't going to do anything.
I'm telling you, Ballard was. I think I saw Ballard coming on the field at the end of the game.
You saw him.
Yeah, boy. If I'm him, I'm going right to Steichen and I'm going, what the hell are you doing?
Oh, I'm sure he'll say something, but he was also not happy with the refs at that one. The Colts think that they got screwed.
How?
That they got screwed on the touchdown that was reversed.
What?
They didn't think
it was clear
possession.
that he touched him and he went to the ground.
They didn't think there was possession, but I do.
Oh, there absolutely was possession.
I think they'll look at the tape and kind of change
they're
their
wrong.
minds to
They're
that.
wrong. There absolutely
I think
was
they'll
possession.
look at the tape. I mean, it's no big deal. They'll look at the tape. They'll see it. I mean, Ballard's up on a boot. He can't hear anything. He's not. He'll see on the tape, and the other one they were trying to figure out is why the other. Remember, there's 2 touchdowns that got called back. One of them was to Pierce, but he said that wasn't even a pick play they called. Well, it doesn't matter if it's a pick play. One defender got knocked to the ground by Michael Pittman. That's going to be an offensive pass interference.
Well, it was funny. Last night in the San Francisco game, they picked up the flag on that almost identical call.
Right. Well, no, that's what he was saying is it's clearly when it's that far from the line of scrimmage, just clearly it's incidental contact. But still, if you knock a defender down on a touchdown, I mean, they're going to call
absolutely
an offense
for the most part.
Yeah. I mean, generally speaking, unless it truly is. I don't know. Well, I mean, it's true. If it's inadvertent contact, a lot of time they will let it go because it was not a pick play near the line of scrimmage. It was actually into the end zone further away, but that cost the Colts a touchdown. The play got called back. But, John, the play with Shane Steichen, when Shane Steichen decides that, hey, let's take this guy who's completed almost no passes this half, and let's see if we can maybe –
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you a special announcement. I love Coors Light. I've always loved Coors Light. And I always will love Coors Light. I'm doing my job, keeping Texas chill. Are you? Are you doing your part? Do your part. Keep Texas chill.
Dig out of this hole by our
on third down.
It was a blessing for the Texans.
Just run the ball and run out the clock, and the Texans go to the half. You go tied at the half. Instead, he throws Tank Dell in the back of the end zone. You hit him, and you got a 7-point lead at the half. Not only that, though, that's not the only thing that Ballard should be. When was the last time you saw a quarterback take himself out of a game because he was tired, especially in the red zone?
So apparently he got the breath. That the tired is apparently.
Well, no, he said he pulled himself out of the game because of tired.
Yeah, the coach told him he got the breath knocked out of him. It was third. Like, why is everyone freaking out about it? It was 3rd and 25. What?
It doesn't matter.
It's so funny to me that people are upset. It was an inside handoff. Joe Flacco. It was only going to be a handoff the whole time. It was 3rd and 25. He got sacked. Like everyone, Pat McAfee made a big, and then Pat screwed up. Pat shouldn't have said that, where he said he quit on his team. I think that is being completely overblown.
It was
3rd and
shocked.
25, and a guy came in and get an inside handoff, and then they were done and got their field goal. They weren't scoring. It was 3rd and goal, right? 3rd and 25 or 3rd and goal front of 25. I think it's 3rd and goal front of 25, and they had an inside handoff. I mean, big deal anyway. Pat McAfee said he quit on his team. Dude, shut up. Quit on his team. I mean, to me, that's like a nothing. That's really, truly a no story. He came right back in after that. Didn't miss another play.
Yeah, it was 3rd and 23.
3rd and 23.
And then
they just handed it off.
Hit the field goal.
All they were going to do was just going to – I mean, he had made mistakes that cost – by the way, Richardson also made mistakes that cost him field goals in the past. He took sacks. Like Richardson and the Texans too. I thought this was an incredibly poorly played game.
Yeah.
I thought there was no rhythm to the game. The only guy that I thought played well really was I thot Hunter ended up really cranking it up against Bernard Raymond.
Last 3 plays of the game.
Yeah, Daniil Hunter basically figured out, I can bull rush this guy.
Yeah.
Will Anderson, the defensive end, saved the day for you. And then Joe Mixon just really, golly. I mean, this is the MVP of your team right now. He's missed time, but right now, the best player on your team is Joe Mixon. And it's honestly not that close to me.
And I found out Anthony Richardson is so hard to take down.
God, is he
Holy
strong?
cow.
When he threw down Will Anderson?
Steve McNair used to be like that, where you got hands on him and you could not bring him down. But Anthony Richardson, wow, he is a bull. I mean, Danielle Hunter's he had to pick him up like a steer, like a calf, and finally was able to bring him down. That dude does not go down.
Strong. He may be the strongest quarterback I've ever seen. It was unbelievable, but and he can throw really far. He's got 3 completions against the Texans for 3 touchdowns of 50-plus yards against the Texans.
He should have had more.
That's not great, guys.
No, he
that's
should have had
great,
more.
But
yeah, like 3 of his first 11 completions were for more than 50 yards against the Texans.
You know, ask yourself this. We'll get into this as the show goes on. Obviously, we got so much to talk. I mean, just inside of this game, there's so much to talk about, but also the way the playoffs are taking shape. But the playoffs, I mean, the Texans right now, we're going to get news on Stephon Diggs. If you did not hear or if you did not see, Stephon Diggs left the game with a non-contact injury. He tried to cut right, and the knee just kind of failed him, and he kind of grabbed his outside knee. That's a bad sign to me. And we'll talk about the implications of that. We're going to find out today, no later than tomorrow, what's going on with that knee, because it could be just Tank Dell and Xavier Richardson. I mean, you're not getting Xavier Hutchinson. You're not getting – it's not until Week 10 against the Lions that Nico Collins comes back. So things may be getting a lot tougher for Stroud. But the offensive line, everyone, all the starters are all healthy, and it continues to be an absolute mess. They cannot pick up stunts and twists. I thought Kenyon Green had his worst game by far that he's had since his rookie season. And John, I'm looking right now at his – and you know how I am about Pro Football Focus grades. I'm not the biggest Pro Football Focus grade guy in the world. I don't think they're always, accurate representations. But I don't think this is far off. For the season, he's got a 42 grade. This is unbelievably low. His pass protection, pass blocking grade yesterday, 21.9. The game before, 29. Right now, Kenyon Green at one point was taken. He was benched for Jarrett Patterson, who then ended up in the same series getting a concussion. So Kenyon Green came back in. But basically the offensive line coach and D'Amico Ryans, or a combination of them, said, this ain't good enough. Get Kenyon out of there. Kenyon comes back, and then shortly thereafter has literally a 3-play series. It was 3 and out, where all 3 were pass plays, and Kenyon allowed pressure. Not just pressure. His guy beat him all 3 times.
Yeah, but
in a row.
I will say this: he did play late. He did play better late in the game. I was watching him. He was actually keeping his guy at bay for a lot of. He was awful. Don't get me wrong. He was awful early on, and then when he came back, it was he was so frustrated. You could just tell.
You could see it on his face.
I was watching him towards the end of the game. He was better. He was better than he was early on in the game. So I listen to you. Hey. Kenyon Suafilo is what we got now, and that's all we got now, and we're just going to have to live with it. Okay, if Patterson can't go because of the concussion, then you're just stuck with this. And I mean, the Jets are going to Hassan Reddick, and oh my God, this is going to be
Jets Schmetz.
What are you talking about?
This is one of the easiest layups that you have in a season.
Oh my gosh!
The Jets can't beat anybody.
You could have possibly said. You're a bad person.
The Jets can't beat anybody.
You're a bad person.
Well, they're 2-6. What do you want? They're out of the playoffs. They're done.
A big deal anyway. You know what? They're a hungry football. They're an angry football.
Are
team.
they?
Yeah.
They're 0-3.
I'll tell you who else played. I'll tell you who else played. There's a couple of guys that you're forgetting that played pretty well. Eric Murray. Holy crap!
Yeah,
did
your
he
boy.
Play well?
You owe him an apology.
How about Bullock? How about Lassiter? I thought they played great.
Yeah,
I thought they played really well. Of course, they gave up a long one, but for the most part, man, Eric Murray was all over the field, making tackles and knocking. How many pass defense did he have? He was really good. You constantly batter that guy, and that guy just played his ass off.
If you could put Eric Murray in front of some type of tribunal, you would.
I love Eric Murray. I always have. I've always felt like
if there's anyone you hate worse than Eric Murray, it's Jalen Green and Jalen Petrie.
I'm a big Jalen guy. I'm always
Jalen Murray.
Okay.
Jalen Murray. If we call him Jalen Murray, can you just finally dig a hole and bury him out there and like something on The Sopranos?
I love all those guys. Those are my favorite players in Houston. My favorite players.